Grace and peace, little brothers, little sisters. You heard me. I was thinking about y'all, man. Listen, now this is this is round three. You heard me. This is round three. Let's get back into it. Here's the deal, brothers, little fellas, man. Listen, as I mentioned, baby, there's certain people that's going to try to keep you from becoming the man that you were created to become. Now, let's say you're in a situation where, matter of fact, this is what I'm going to say. Eventually, through this whole process, I'm going to start dropping videos just for the boys or just for the girls because I want y'all to get your own full understanding of the opposite sex. Because if you wait until you in your 30s to hear this, chances are y'all have to think about it. By this point, grown-ups are watching this too. You heard me? Because all these years, what you're noticing is that they're gonna be in the comments too, or some of them won't be in the comments because they have been basically programmed at this point not to answer to certain situations because they didn't realize what it is that we was talking about in part one and part two. You know what I'm saying? Now, chances are you may have family members of your own that's starting to watch this stuff and they trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, how bad of a person that I am. But as I mentioned in part two, hey, one thing about me is they can say what they got to say, but at the same time, I don't see none of them trying to help you to propel you into your next level. Now, understand this, in this life, you made a choice before you came into this life. So everything that you've experienced in your first set of years, 14 years up to 25 years, everything that you strategically caught as the point as when you got to maybe fifth grade or something, you realized that all the grown-ups around you was lying to you, telling you about Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy. You heard me? It's a chance that in that point in time, you end up going through your first mental health piece. You heard me? Where you're trying to figure out why nobody either believes in you or why somebody was lying to you or whatever you can come up with because your mindset is so amazing at this particular point. Just like the people that you know, their mindsets was amazing like this too, but strategically they was programmed to operate on the level that they're operating in. Just like, for instance, as I mentioned, this particular life is just a video game. Okay? Within this video game, this is what I want to try to break down to you in this one. This life is nothing but a video game because I can't talk to you where you're at. I got to talk to you from where you're coming from. You heard me? Because where you figure out is certain puzzle pieces. Just like, for instance, whenever you're playing a game and you go to the next level and then to the next level and to the next level, you have to strategically figure out all the parts or what's going on this board in order to go to the next level. Now, let's think about it. Let's retract just a bit. This life is nothing but a video game. Every time you figure out certain particular areas of your life is when you level up in that area. But they say that a shark that swims backwards, it dies. So each and every day you want to try to figure out, where am I swimming backwards at? What area of my life am I swimming backwards at? You heard me? Once you get that particular understanding on where you're swimming backwards in, is where you're going to realize one day that, watch this. If you were in your 40s, I would ask you a simple question. And you'll give me the same answer that you'll give me right now. So understand that this part of it doesn't stop. So check this. If I was to ask you, what would you change if you could about yourself? Chances are right now you're thinking about something negative. In that negative is a test that you're just unwilling to pass. Now, why am I saying unwilling to pass? Because if you're in your 40s and you hear that, at that point, you ain't passed this test in 40 years. You heard me? So if I can catch you while you're in your 20s, you can stop making this same particular mistake, and then everything will change. You know what I'm saying? You'll start to see the world in a different way. You'll start to understand that whenever you interact with the opposite sex, all your wins, losses, and break evens had to strategically happen, and all his wins, losses, and break evens had to strategically happen in order for y'all to actually meet. Now, let's say you're in a relationship already, little brother, little sister. Everything that she went through or he went through had to strategically happen for y'all to meet. Now, if y'all break up, this is what I need you to understand. What I don't want you to do is start to, because you got to think, by this point, you probably already been programmed to do it. Don't point the finger at the other individual. And little brother, same thing. Well, us men, we don't do that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Get on social media and try to trash talk. If you got a homeboy that trash talk females like that, my brother, get rid of him because he's not loyal. You heard me? He's not loyal. He's sitting up here telling you about another female that he probably did something wrong to. Remember, as I mentioned in the other part, how the little girl gonna try to blast you out? Think about it. That's female. That's that female operation that he's doing. You don't need a dude like that on your team. You heard me? Because if you have one like that on your team, chances are everybody know your business. You heard me? But let's keep going. In this life, in this video game, picture this. Tomorrow, every person that you see that you don't know, or better yet, let me paint you a picture. Let's say we all are going on a trip somewhere. Where you want to go. Wherever you want to go, put it in the chat. You heard me? Put in the chat where you want to go. Now, in your mind, we're all going to this particular location that you chose strategically. Now, don't be afraid, because later on in life, when people gonna ask you to do certain things, you ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna respond because you shame to tell people that you ain't been nowhere because you ain't your fathers at this point. You only been to the state over or something like that. You heard me? When there's 50 states around here. But anyway, remember, I'm talking to you in the young area, because if I talk to you in the old area, you're going to miss the whole conversation. But anyway, let's keep going. We're going to this place, okay? We're in the airport. We get into the plane. We go up. We come down to the place that you pick, okay? Now check this out. It's just me and you. We standing. We're gonna get out the plane. You know what I'm saying? We had some great conversation. I get you to understand life the way that I need you to understand life, because later on in life it's gonna be a struggle for you. You heard me? Especially if at this point you're already a dancer. Okay? You gotta understand. With you being a dancer, there's a lot of people that's gonna try to blame. They're gonna try to blame you or blame your daddy for your particular decisions. They're gonna be mad at you that you chose to dance and actually make money to do, you know what I'm saying, what you can do for the time being. But at the same time, this is what I need you to understand. Anybody that judges you, chances are they doing the same thing that you doing, just in a different way. Hey, I'm giving it to you real. They are working a job, getting paid for something that they don't want to do. And they're not going to understand that because of what you're doing. You heard me? Or better yet, let's say you like a porn star or something like that. You heard me? They're going to judge you because, one, they're not making the money you making. And two, they basically are judging themselves. Because those of you who have already been in relationships, what I need you to understand, outside of understanding the journey, I need y'all to understand that that individual is just a mirror of you. Okay? Everything that you see is basically a mirror back to you, because in this journey, what you have to see is, as far as everything that happened, how y'all came together, y'all were strangers at a point in time, and now y'all been having relations. Once that time is up, let me give you the full understanding of what the time up means. It don't mean go point fingers at him, go try to slash his tires, my brother. It don't mean talk bad about her to your homeboys, none of that. Watch this. Whatever your background is, high school or college, okay? Every person that you know, whatever their last name is the high school you're attending. Whatever their last name is the university that you're attending. In this realm, it's all about time. Time actually matters within this realm. So whenever you give yourself to someone, you're investing yourself into that particular individual. So what are you learning from the schools that you're investing your time into? Okay? In this relationship, whenever you get to the point to where you feel like you done learned everything from him that he can offer you, the journey has to continue. It's not about staying stuck in that one particular relationship when you saying that you over him. And same thing, little brother. You heard me? This doesn't mean go and start acting out. But at the same time, if you get on semen retention, chances are this situation will never come within your particular lifespan. It's going to come eventually. But at the same time, what I need y'all to understand is chances are some of us are called. Some of us are God's chosen children. Okay? And within being a God's chosen child, some of us are not supposed to be in relationships anyway. You heard me? Think about it, little sis. Think about it, little brother. If you start living your purpose, watch this, because at a later age, you ain't going to understand this. If you start living your purpose at this early of an age, think about it. Whenever you meet somebody that's not in their purpose, what would make you want to continue that particular conversation? Because you're going in a forward motion. You're projecting higher and higher because you're trying to get to get back to your higher self. Now, this may not even come until later on in life, but we can start the process early if you're listening to what I'm saying and really taking this thing in. You know what I'm saying? We can change everything. You heard me? The world can be a whole better place. Little brother, think about it. When it comes towards semen retention, there's only 1% of men. Now remember, I told you in the last message, there's only 1% of men that can actually do this more than 7 days. You heard me? Watch this. If you try this, chances are you're going to see, you're going to get, I'm telling you, you're going to fall back into your essence to the point to where you're going to see things before it even happened. Because I'm at this point in my career where I can't be finessed. You know what I'm saying? I can't be manipulated by a woman. And once a woman understands that she can't manipulate you as a man, she got to go try to find another weaker vessel. You heard me? It goes both ways, baby. It's not just, you know what I'm saying, your friends and your family that's going to try to hold you. It might be a baby mama. It may be the baby daddy that's going to try to keep you because everybody, remember in the first message, everybody's walking around with a bunch of spirits, especially if you got a homeboy that's been knocking them back. You heard me? He got a body count plus 20 at this point. You heard me? There's a lot of demons that he's possessing to the point to where it's not just from his family. It's the ones that he actually connected with. And same thing, my sis, little sis, you know, the same thing, opposite directions. You have homegirls. They have their little body counts. They have their little Jezebel spirits. They have to dress a certain type of way to get a certain type of attention. Think about it. There's certain areas in the Bible that you can get the full understanding in. And remember how we mentioned the world spins around on the axis. So when the world spins around on the axis, there's certain things that you were told remember I was talking about when it comes towards the Papa was a Rolling Stone or whatever the deal is. Anything that your mom and them experienced, you're going to experience again once you become an adult. That's how it works. Everything that they wasn't telling you that was actually happening, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get your own experience if you choose to continue the route that you're already on. You heard me? Now, chances are your mama watching this thing too. They wishing that they can go back. They probably ain't gonna tell you this. You heard me? They probably would not. Well, why this man gonna wait all this time to come and say this? Well, I've been saying this. I've been speaking like this for quite some time now, but nobody was actually listening. So my little sister, you can get the game now to the point to where ain't no man gonna be able to bamboozle you. Because if you take away that key element that they looking for, they're going to have to become a man faster than ever. Because you got to think, it's like this. Every man or male or boy that you're currently talking to, basically what I need you to understand is that he's fishing. Same thing, little brother. The female is fishing to the point to where whatever bait that they use to catch their first fish is the same bait that they're going to use for the next 30, 40 years. It's just that they're going to continue to enhance that particular bait. My brother, think about it. Your first little girl that you finally got the phone number from. You heard, man? Things didn't work out. You still been operating the same one way. Chances are you're going to be on your 40s doing the same thing, bro. But you got to understand, you got an essence, B. How can you make a woman respect you if you're walking around empty all the time? You heard me? My little sis, how can you make a man respect you if you're doing the same thing 99% of the women are doing in this world? To the point to where once you get to about my age, 40, you're going to realize that every man that you've ever had wanted you in that way. And you decided, think about it, you decided to give him that. Now, he took it and he ran with it. And then you got mad. Think about it. You're getting older at this point. You're going to be older. You ain't going to have to go through this once you're older. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. You keep going through it multiple times. Every relationship has a common denominator. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you come from a family that basically was raised to cater to the man only. Make sure he gets everything that he needs. You know what I'm saying? Help him to build his dream. And then when it comes to your dream, you just working a 9 to 5, going through the cycle, miserable, probably done had 4, 5 kids at this point, maybe 2, or maybe that one. You know what I'm saying? And you still making the same excuses that somebody with 2 and 3 got, or 2 and 3 have. But the reason being is because you forgot that it's a journey. Once you learn what you need to learn, you move on. You heard me? It's not about pointing fingers all kind of different directions. Man, listen, I'm at the 18-minute mark. I'm not even saying that I'm getting fatigued. It's just I got so much to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see how these first 3 videos go. And we'll rock it like that. Hopefully this is something big. Because just like I mentioned, each time we get to 50, I'll drop the next video. You heard me? So share this thing. You know what I'm saying? Put the comments. You know what I'm saying? Let everybody know that 2009, I don't know what you was doing in 2009, but 2009, President Obama was in his first term, and his whole presidential contract or whatever the thing was, the thing said it's time for a change. You heard me? Now, in this life, there's a lot of things that you're going to have to change before you get to a certain age, because once you get to a certain age, you ain't going to want to change. You're going to just be the same old bitter little woman or bitter little dude that nobody understand. My brother, you'll get to a certain point in your life, you're going to be, sit in the house all day, knowing that your grass need to get cut. And you got somebody else coming to your house to cut your grass because you don't want to go out there and get some of this exercise. You heard me? There's a lot of things we need to talk about before you get too old. You heard me? Before you get too old, we need to talk about it. I need you to get this understanding, because once you get this understanding, you get the power. But anyway, grace and peace.